cross my
Together for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and island romance. Couples, singles, and a whole squad. This is your Valentine's celebration. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Make this Valentine's weekend unforgettable. Get set to subscribe to love.
Boss 104, Star 101, and The Point, in collaboration with Micronesia Mall, present the 2026 Health and Wellness Expo. Saturday, January 17th, from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. in the center court. Join us as we showcase an array of healthcare businesses to help guide you into a lifestyle of healthy habits and wellness. Booths are available now. If you're a business that specializes in eating healthy, exercising, being mindful, and more, call 888-7346 and connect with Doris, Daryl, Michelle, or Shanzi for more info about the 2026 Health and Wellness Expo. Call 888-RDIO.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
An investigation at the home of Rob Reiner in Southern California. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. Los Angeles police say a death investigation underway at the home there. Fox's Tanya J. Powers with the details.
Los Angeles fire officials found the two bodies inside the home after they'd been called for a medical aid request around 3:30 Sunday afternoon. LAPD Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton confirmed the death investigation but would not identify the bodies, only telling reporters that positive IDs would come from the LA County Coroner's Office.
At this time, the Los Angeles Police Department is not seeking anyone as a suspect or as a person of interest or in any other manner, and we will not be doing that until we conduct our investigation and we move forward.
While police won't confirm the identities, both LA Mayor Karen Bass and California Governor Gavin Newsom have released statements honoring Reiner and his wife, calling the situation, quote, a tragic loss. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Time of shooting that killed 2 people and injured 9 at Brown University, having police still searching for the suspect. Fox's Marion Rafferty explains.
Police in Providence, Rhode Island, saying they'll release the person of interest detained following that mass shooting at Brown University that occurred on Saturday. 2 people were killed in that shooting on Saturday afternoon in an engineering building as they were taking final exams. 9 others were also injured. Police are saying they arrested a person of interest Sunday morning and that they weren't looking for anyone else at that time. But then they held a news conference earlier Sunday evening saying that that person of interest who was detained will now be released, citing a lack of evidence. Investigators say the shooter fired more than 40 rounds. All classes and final exams at Brown have been postponed.
In Rhode Island, Governor Daniel McKee has stated the community is keeping the victims and their families in its thoughts. Gas prices continue to slide. AAA saying the national average, $2.91 a gallon, 17 cents less than it was a month ago. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, everyone. This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
Neil McDonough portrays Jesus. Stacey Keach, Sean Astin, Michael York, and Kristen Bell provide the voices for some of Jesus' notable followers. A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told, The Life of Jesus.
Make sure to spread the word.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
This is Jason Chaffetz from the Jason in the House podcast. Join me every Monday to dive deeper into the latest political headlines and chat with remarkable guests to hear their take on American life, politics, and entertainment. And don't forget, there's always somebody doing something stupid somewhere.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com
or wherever you download podcasts.
Must listen to podcasts from Fox News Audio.
At least 15 people are dead after police say in Australia 2 men attacked folks celebrating Hanukkah on a beach. They were reportedly a father and son who opened fire on that beach outside of Sydney, causing panic and chaos. Sky News host Shari Markson has more from Bondi Beach.
Australian Jews were gathered for the first night of Hanukkah. It was a beautiful family festival. There was singing, food, music, and out of nowhere, 2 gunmen. We now know that they're a 50-year-old father and a 24-year-old son dressed in black opened fire. Reports that there were 50 to 60 shots fired.
The 50-year-old gunman was killed, his son injured, and is now in custody. A survey showing the holiday season has not been quite so merry for American shoppers.
You've probably noticed it. Almost everything costs more this holiday shopping season, from groceries to electricity to especially the items on your holiday gift list. And you're not alone. That's what roughly half of Americans told a survey by the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research. Many say they're dipping into savings, scouring for bargains, delaying purchases, and using credit cards a lot more than they have in years past. The White House disagrees, President Trump insisting there is no inflation and that the U.S. economy is booming. 68% of respondents to the survey, however, continue to say that the U.S. economy is poor. That's unchanged from last December. Daria Albinger, Fox News.
Jewish leaders lighting the national menorah in Washington, D.C. to begin Hanukkah.
From the President of the United States and the First Lady and the Vice President of the United States and the Second Lady, I would like to wish you all a wonderful Hanukkah. Let's celebrate the year. It is a difficult and tough day for what we've lost.
Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick. I'm Ted Lindner. This is Fox News.
Breathe easy this Christmas with Carrier Guam. Keep your home merry, bright, and fresh with our XL Air Purifier. Now just $265 while supplies last. With 3-in-1 filters and LED air quality monitoring, it's the perfect gift of clean air for your family. Visit Carrier Guam in Harmon Industrial Park behind Kmart or call 671-647-2665. Carrier, your local source for comfort and quality this holiday season. Carrier Guam, turn to the experts this Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and all of us at Security Title want to wish you a joyous holiday season. We are grateful for your continued trust and support, and we look forward to serving you in the new year. May your homes be filled with warmth, laughter, and love this Christmas. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Security Title, celebrating over 25 years as your trusted partner in real estate.
Guam, are you ready? For one night only, Julian Marley and The Uprising, featuring the sounds of DJ Bonix, are coming to Guam at the Lime Event Venue this February 14th. And the best part? Everyone is VIP. Experience roots, reggae, and pure Marley vibes live on Valentine's Day. But listen, tickets are extremely limited, and once they're gone for good. Don't wait. Get yours now at guamtime.net. That's guamtime.net. Brought to you by New Wave Studios Guam, Empire Realty, Star 101, Boss 104, and The Point. One night, one price, one legend.
Need publicity for your big events? We've got a great feature on The Point's website to help you get your happening noticed for free. Just go to thepoint.gu and look for the community button. Click on submit your event and then fill in the blanks. You can even upload your flyer. Once we approve it, it'll show up on all Choice Broadcasting websites. Did I say it was free? From 5Ks to car washes, lunch plates, fundraisers, whatever. Let us help you get the word out. Free! Get started on thepoint.gu.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. It is 1800 hours and 7 minutes. Time for Veterans with Benefits. Carrying the load today is your host, Corinna Ballista.
Papa D, welcome back. Yes, Anthony is not here. That's okay. That is okay. Everyone's always going to tease, now she can talk. Anyways, so we always want to start by thanking our sponsors, Ambrose Inc., Hebzibah Family Medical Clinic, American Legion, Post 1. Don't forget about their steak every second Saturday. 11Z's, they're the coffee shop right behind the radio show, and they offer 11% discount for veterans. I think I'm having the red raspberry tea. So yummy. Then Master Blasters for all your blasting needs. JTC Services, which is a veteran-owned company. Rob Jackson over there. And the Most Services of Rob Jackson, also another veteran-owned company. Domino's, nobody knows like Domino's. Thank you to Dane, always providing a pizza for Veteran of the Week. And the nonprofit organization HMI. My favorite part, reading Veteran of the Week. Veteran of the Week is Specialist David Levert Batiste. Specialist Batiste honorably served in the United States Army from July 29, 1986 to May 1993, earning recognition for his outstanding service, dedication, and leadership throughout his military career. A native of Goldsboro, North Carolina, Specialist Batiste entered active duty from North Carolina and completed over 6 years of continuous active service, during which he held the military occupations specialty 7610. Subsistence Supply Specialist. His role was vital in ensuring the efficient handling and distribution of food and supplies, directly contributing to the readiness and morale of his unit. His last duty station was the Division Support Command, 8th United States Army, with his final duty assignment taking place at Camp Bullis in San Antonio, Texas. Throughout his career, Specialist Batiste demonstrated a strong commitment to professionalism and excellence. Among his many honors and decorations are Army Service Ribbon, National Defense Service Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, Overseas Service Ribbon, 2 awards, Army Achievement Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbon, Army Lapel Pin, Marksman Badge, Expert Badge. He also completed essential military education, including Subsistence Supply Specialist course and Primary Leadership Development course. Specialist Batiste served overseas for a total of 1 year and 4 months, reflecting his global contributions to the U.S. Army mission. David's service concluded with an honorable discharge upon his ETS date. Following his military service, Specialist Batiste transitioned to civilian life with integrity, carrying the same discipline and values he upheld while in uniform. His service record stands as a testament to his character, commitment, and contributions to the nation. Let us congratulate him for his service. Veteran of the Week, Batiste. All right. My next favorite part is, I should have had you read this. I'll introduce it to my guest later. But tip of the week is questions that we receive weekly. So like I mentioned, I'm with the nonprofit organization HMI, and we encounter veterans all the time. So we always want to share a tip of the week. This one we get a lot. Can I receive both VA disability compensation and Social Security disability insurance? And many veterans, yes, you can, and many veterans do. There are 2 separate federal benefit programs, each with its own eligibility rules, payment systems, and purpose. Here's an in-depth breakdown to help you understand how they work together, how they don't offset each other, and when one may affect the other indirectly. So for the benefit, I'm going to break them down in 3. The benefit, the disability compensation, and SSDI. The agency that offers it, of course, your disability compensation would be the VA, Social Security, which offers SSDI. So for Social Security, SSDI replaces income if you can't work due to a disability. Your VA disability compensates veterans for their service-connected disabilities. Is it taxable? For both VA and Social Security, they are not taxable. Do they offset each other? No. Benefits are independent for the VA, and no, SSDI does not reduce VA pay or vice versa. Is there an eligibility link? For the VA, yes, it's based on service connection and severity. For SSDI, it's based on inability to work, any cause plus work credits. Do you need to be totally disabled? No, for the VA. You can be anywhere from 0 to 100%. For Social Security, yes, total disability only. Can you get both? Yes, you can legally and financially receive both. A veteran with a 100% VA disability rating can also receive SSDI if they meet the Social Security Administration definition of disability. A veteran with a 10 to 90% VA rating may also qualify for SSDI if their overall medical condition, not just service-connected, prevents substantial gainful activity employed. Key differences in how they evaluate disability. VA disability compensation is based on how service-connected disabilities affect daily life and ability to work. It uses a percentage-based rating system, 0 to 100%. A veteran can work and still receive VA compensation even at 100%, unless rated total disability based on individual unemployability, which is TDIU, which has income limits. SSDI. Based on total disability from any condition, not just service-related, you must show that you cannot perform substantial gainful activity. It focuses on whether you can hold a job regardless of how your condition originated. Do they affect each other? Directly? No. VA compensation is not reduced if you get SSDI, and SSDI is not reduced if you receive VA compensation. Indirectly, sometimes. If you're applying for VA TDIU, receiving SSDI can support your claim that you cannot work. VA may look at your Social Security records during a VA claim, but they are not bound by Social Security Administration decisions. A favorable Social Security Administration ruling can help, but it does not guarantee a VA rating. For example, a 100% VA plus SSDI, John, a Navy veteran, has 100% VA rating for PTSD and TBI. He also applies for SSDI and is approved. He receives full VA compensation and SSDI monthly. So, for example, if he had 60% VA plus SSDI, this is another example. And then Sarah, an Army vet, if she has 60% VA for back and knee issues, she develops a non-service connected neurological condition and cannot work. She qualifies for SSDI even though her VA rating is below 100%. How can you apply for both? Of course, for the VA, you can apply at va.gov or by mail using the form 21-526EZ for Social Security. You can go to ssa.gov or your nearest Social Security office. And of course, our Guam office is located here in Teton. Important note, SSDI may convert to Social Security retirement at age 67, but VA compensation continues for life. You can work part-time while receiving VA disability unless on TDIU. If you're receiving VA pension, not compensation, SSDI income may count against eligibility, but that's a different benefit. So in summary, you can receive both VA disability compensation and SSDI. They do not offset each other. They are based on different criteria and can be pursued independently or together. They may support each other in documentation, especially for unemployability. So if you're a veteran and you're unable to work due to any medical issue, it's worth applying for SSDI, even if you already receive VA compensation and vice versa. Whew, that's a lot. That's like a very good question all the time. And then, normally I always ask Anthony if he wants to say hello to anyone because he always forgets. But Anthony is not here. He is off island visiting his granddaughter that he always says hello to. So congratulations to her. And now,
Can I just make a real quick distinction?
Yes.
Because there might be some confusion. Because we are a territory, sometimes we don't receive all the benefits that some of the states do. To be clear, though, SSDI is not SSI, which people on Guam cannot receive.
That's correct.
That's a supplemental Social Security benefit. So, yes, don't be afraid to apply for any of which you qualify for. Just remember, SSI is not available to Guam residents.
Right. Because even though, and they always get mad, well, why not? Well, Congress?
We haven't asked for
Congress?
it. We're not asking for it enough.
We'll write to Congress. All right. Thanks for that, Jose. And thank you for being the best host ever.
No, you're the best. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So let's introduce our guest. We have Ray Shinahara. You're here to share your story about Team Long Road.
Yep.
Take it away. What is Team Long Road? Where did you go? What did you do? How did it start?
Yeah, so we just completed an event last month on the Marine Corps birthday, which is going to be November 10th. We hiked 250 miles from New York all the way to Virginia, ending at the National Marine Corps Museum. Along the way, we were raising money, but really highlighting the 250 years the Marine Corps has been in existence, which is really cool. Got to go to a bunch of really cool historical monuments, meeting a bunch of Marines along the way, and just sharing the story. But the story actually, grows from there. This is our fourth iteration of doing a hike. Back in 2022, we did a hike from Boston, Massachusetts, all the way to Newport, Oregon. So 3,365 miles long hike. Took us about 6 months to accomplish, but we do a pretty large hike every year around the end of the year, so October, November timeframe, to raise awareness for the missing in action. So it started with 3 Marines, my buddy Rocky, my buddy JD, and myself. Hiking. My buddy JD, he actually runs an organization called History Flight, and History Flight is a private organization that goes out to locate, retrieve, and recover and repatriate service members that got left behind on the battlefield. It was interesting because back in 2022, after we were done with the hike, JD asked me to go to Tarawa to be a team leader and a medic, so I got to go and actually see the work and be a part of the process. Having a bunch of scientists, archaeologists, and workers out there trying to locate these remains out in the Pacific. And, we did our very best to, show them, dignity and respect and bring them home, considering the conditions and environment that we were in, having to, deal with the local situation that was happening in Tarawa, the heat. So it definitely wasn't, a nice deployment or vacation to do, but, bringing those individuals back home and identifying them and bringing them back home was really interesting. This last trip, because there's a lot of work that goes into recovering our nation's missing in action, from the actual recovery process to repatriating them and giving them back to their loved ones, their families that are still around, but the research that goes along with it. I got to do a little bit of it this trip around. We had a break in between our hike, and it just so happened to be around an area that we needed to do some research, and we got to, try to locate the family, but really put a lot of effort into getting information that will lead us closer to finding someone that has a DNA match that individual, because that's the only way we could, identify these individuals is with a living relative, with a service member that died back in World War II.
And did you find any on Guam? Did you?
With the research that we have, there are individuals that were left behind here on Guam. Individuals from Guam, I haven't heard anything yet, but that's still research that's ongoing. If we have Chamorro men that served and got left behind, I'm not aware of it at this time. But in conversations, we were talking about like how many people were left behind during the Battle of Guam, and the potential to come out here, especially being a resident of Guam, like leading a team out here and looking for those lost and missing.
So that was the mission. So that's why you were hiking, to raise funds to find the missing, right?
Yeah.
So when did you guys start your journey this year?
This year. So we started October 26th. We start at Fort Hamilton in New York, which is really interesting. If you've never been to Fort Hamilton, it's an Army base in the middle of the city. You could literally just pass it, but a lot of history that is on that particular base. We started there, got to explore a little bit on the base, and it was really nice. The only thing that sucked was probably the government shutdown that happened around that time. So the base is like literally a ghost town, because everything's closed. Everything is like minimal, attention, and that government shutdown happened for a while. So just watching the base be a ghost town was interesting to me. But the people that were on the base were very open to sharing the story of Fort Hamilton, the history behind it. We got to go to the tavern. It's interesting because, there is no Marine Tavern anymore, the Ton Tavern, and they have a Ton Tavern in New York on an Army base, which I thought was pretty interesting. It was close, didn't get to drink, but it was a good time.
I forgot to mention, you are a Marine veteran.
I am a Marine veteran.
And he was just showing you in uniform, I think, by a tree. Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
you?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not you. Oh, that's a video. So talk about some of the locations you visited along the way.
Oh, along the way on the journey, yeah. So we started in Fort Hamilton. When we started the hike, we hiked to the 9/11 Memorial. Have a pretty good video. I sent you guys on there. It was interesting because I joined during the time of 9/11. That's the whole reason I joined, and to actually go there for my very first time along my hike, and to see the 9/11 Memorial was just breathtaking. It was a very like my whole body shut down. I was just like absorbing everything. Everybody else around me, because it's a tourist area, so people were taking pictures, but like this meant more to me than anything else. And my buddy, just so happened to have his phone out, just like watching me, just like walk to the memorial, and I thought that was just an amazing capture of a moment that really led me to have the career I had in the military, and then continued on with that.
Yeah, what you're looking at here, because I have the video playing,
Yeah.
is one of the footprints, the footprint of one of the towers.
One of them.
And it's a waterfall. I've been there
Yeah.
before. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's a waterfall that goes down into the basement area, the cellar area.
Mhm.
And yeah, it is a very moving, touching memorial. It could be overwhelming.
Yeah.
You
And
do
there's
have a
two
lot
of
more
them.
people there than I remember when I
Yeah.
was first there. But amazing, and really kind of moving video you have here.
Yeah. Yeah. Very first time to ever be there. And I thought it was really awesome.
And you saw Jose at the beginning. You just saw him just standing there, right? I think, was that your first reaction, just standing there?
Yeah, it's just an awe moment, especially when you know that your career, your life was connected to that. That one moment in time led me to be a Marine for 11 years.
And out of the 11 years, you deployed.
I did.
8 times?
8 times.
8 times.
8 times.
Wow.
7 to combat zones, but 8 times altogether. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you also attended another event, which you told me in depth about that. But after the 9/11 Memorial, where did you go after that?
So the 9/11 Memorial, we're walking from literally New York all the way to Virginia, so hitting pretty much every state. So we hit New Jersey, getting out of New York. So we went to the Trenton area and and along the way we're hitting really interesting memorial sites and history. The Battle of Trenton in New Jersey, interesting place, especially where it's at. Like the actual memorial is really nice. The area that surrounds it, maybe not so nice, but meeting the people along the way. And that's like one of the best parts about it, is like meeting people, sharing stories, and sharing each other's stories. But after that, after New Jersey, we hit up Delaware and then Philadelphia. Philadelphia is interesting because that's where the Marine Corps was created, at Ton Tavern in Philadelphia, which, in all honesty, is just a sign that's out there. It's not an actual building like I thought as a young Marine that it would be. But seeing where the Marines first started, especially in that area, and how patriotic and how people are so connected to the Marine Corps out there, it's just like Guam. Guam has a huge history when it comes to the Marine Corps, and so does Philadelphia. And that was really cool, being a part of it. When we met people in Philadelphia, they were like, "Are you coming to the parade?" And we're like, "No, we're walking to Virginia from here." But after hitting up, there, we went to Annapolis, the naval station out there where naval officers are made. That was really cool to see the whole process and meet the students and young potential sailors and Marines that are going to be sent to the fleet out there. Then we went to D.C., had the Marine Corps birthday ball,
Yes.
the Commandant's Ball.
That's because I remember speaking to you before you left, and you said you were going to the ball, and you're going to be sitting at the Commandant, and I'm like, So did he mean he's going to do it? And then I saw your Instagram post, and I said, wait a minute, he's not even on Guam. What is he talking about?
That was interesting because I really wanted to go to the Marine Corps Ball here on Guam, be around the Marines, other Chamorros and stuff out here, and just be around them. They're great people. But, my calling was somewhere else. And that calling led me to the Commandant's Marine Corps birthday in Washington, D.C., which was epic, especially considering that it was all pretty much general officers and, E9s over there. And, I'm a veteran. I got out as an E6, and I'm acting like a Lance Corporal while I'm over there. But it was a great experience. And a lot of really cool
say you, it was like you had to go through security, you couldn't take pictures?
Yeah, well, pictures were limited, especially around the areas that I was at. So I was one of the special guests for the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Ruiz. So we were at his table. Right next to his table was the Vice President. And then right next to him was the Commandant of the Marine Corps. So I'm just near a lot of people. And, I knew I was going to do this project to go out and do a fundraiser with them. So we knew we were going to go to the Marine Corps Ball at least a month before we went. So that gave us enough time to get the security clearances and everything like that. But when you go near the Vice President, there's always going to be Secret Service. So you're going through, it's like TSA, crazy when you're around them. Security checkpoints everywhere. You can't do anything. They're always watching. But it was a great experience to be around him. J.D. Vance was a Marine as well. He joined during the same time that I joined. He was a combat correspondence guy, hanging out with all the infantry guys. And, it was really awesome during the Marine Corps Ball to share stories with each other. And no matter, what the relationship we have now or, his rank and, where he fits into society, he's still a Marine. And that was like one of the greatest parts about like the Marine Corps Ball was we were all Marines and we could share a story together.
I think you showed it. It's time for a break. You're listening to Veterans with Benefits on 93.3. We'll be right back.
Days till Christmas. This Christmas countdown is brought to you by Carrier Guam. Daily savings on all our high wall units, both Carrier and Toshiba splits.
Coming January 24th to the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. The Cover Girl, live on Guam. Angel, the original cover girl, and her iconic voice, singing all their hits like Because of You, Promise Me, Inside Out, and Show Me. Joining them on stage, the queen of dance, EDM, and freestyle, Shannon. Also, 90s freestyle diva singing all her hits, Jocelyn Enriquez.
The radio plays our favorite song, and it's what keeps me holding on. Baby, do you miss me?
Brought to you by Choice Broadcasting, Trivision Media, and Cherry Media. This is a Jams Media show you don't want to miss. Tickets and info at guamtime.net.
And we're back. I'm going to read some of the comments that we have. We have Raymond McGravy watching from North Dakota. Marvin Ezeki, Hafaday, HMI and Karina. Frank and Chris Tadigui, happy holidays, veterans. Richard Rossetti, Hafaday, everyone. CQ, buenas, veterans. John Mendiola, Hafaday, Miss Karina. And our producer, Jose Martinez, the 250th tribute hike honoring the U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary. Check it out on teamlongroad.com. And earlier, Ray gave us coins. If you could see this, it's a penny.
Steel penny.
A steel penny, and Ray is going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we usually give those out to like supporters and, people that we meet along the way. And it may not mean a lot to anybody or have value because it's just a penny, but it has an amazing story. So, it's dated. So if you turn the coin around, it's dated 1943, and that's when, World War II was happening. and our government couldn't afford it. So we kind of got rid of the copper penny for a little bit, switched to steel, and that kind of was helping infuse money into sending our troops out, and supporting them in whatever way that they could. So we went to the bank, got a bunch of steel pennies that are still in circulation, and brought them to Tarawa, which is one of our project sites that we recover the missing in action, and put them in the water. And we tell them the story of, this is the reason why we do things, because it matters. And it does, because, it seems like we forgot them. Well, we haven't, and we're going out there and doing our best to recover those remains and repatriate them back to their families.
And so you gave these coins out all along your journey?
Yeah.
Your hike?
Which also is weight on my pack that I have to carry. So
giving it out was good.
Giving it out was great.
So this is your other coin.
Yeah.
This is the
History
Flight coin.
Yeah.
And on the back it says, what do those little words say?
What does it say? Research, recover, and repatriate.
And then in the middle it says finding the fallen.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Honor Flight. And so History Flight. How old is History Flight? When was it started? You don't
I'm not too sure. You could check our website. There's all that information that's on there. But I got into the company back in 2022. I was having a kind of like a midlife crisis, and I needed to do something with my life, a little bit more for myself. And I thought I'd go for a hike. And my hiking led me to hike with these guys that I served with. Literally, the guys I hiked with they were my bosses, my boss and my boss's boss. And we had a connection. So if anybody's going to do a really long hike, you better go with somebody that you know and you get along with, because it could be feuding sometimes. And it was a great experience to be around guys that I looked up to. And now they're my peers, they're my friends. And they're guys that I would literally walk the world with if I needed to. And I got the opportunity to hang out with them and, learn about what they were doing, when it comes to History Flight. And they gave me the opportunity after that hike to go to Tarawa and be a team leader and find, these individuals that were lost and that it seemed like we forgot about. We see the POW MIA flags hanging everywhere, especially at post offices, right? But a lot of people don't know what it means. But it's the only flag that can fly right underneath the American flag.
Yes.
Right? So, it's not just a flag to me. It's a purpose. It's a reason for what we do. Like even when I was on active duty, one of my missions, no matter what it was to bring home my Marines. And when I did that hike and I finished, I went back to one of, my buddies, and we were talking about him earlier, Danny. I went back to his grave and told him, I got to bring you back home. I'm going to do my best to bring others home too. And that's a institutional value that, that we tell our Marines and our service members, that we will always bring you back home, dead or alive, right? And for some, it's taken a while. And we just have the opportunity to go out. We may not have the funds all the time, and that's why we do these fundraisers to collect money so we could have another iteration for the year to recover our nation's missing in action. But it costs a lot, for the scientists, the archaeologists, the team leaders like myself. Everybody gets paid. They're doing it for the goodness of their heart, but at the end of the day,
it costs money,
and people need to bring home money for their families.
Yes.
Right?
So in one of the photos, I saw a QR code. I think the QR code was with Danny. Danny, your elf that you bring around.
Yeah.
There it is. That's a QR code. So the QR code. What was the QR code for?
The QR code is to, when we see people along the road, right? Instead of telling them a story, and sometimes it's in passing, hey, just scan the QR code. It tells our story, of all the other hikes that we did, from Florida to Virginia, across the country. Just scan the QR code and be a part of our journey. When we do these hikes, I do most of the videos, and I try to do my best to tell a story and let people feel like they're a part of it. You may not be hiking the 20 miles every day like we are every single day, but be a part of it. Listen to our stories and I try to capture moments of conversation with us, especially the last time, because along the way we're passing through history, and why not tell these stories? We met while we were hiking. I think it was somewhere in Virginia. I mean, not Virginia, New Jersey. We found the last KIA from World War II, and my buddy JD tells this epic story because he's a historian by trade now. And I love hearing his stories, but he told us this story and it was just epic. I had to share it with people. And it was a little longer than a minute and 30 because that's what usually reels are, but it was definitely worth sharing. And if you have time, check it out. It's on my Facebook and Instagram. It's an amazing story about the last person to die on the battlefield. And he did it epically. You know, when nobody else wanted to run the line and defend, our line, he did. And he was the last person to die. And we got to share his story.
And where can they read the story at? Where are you at on Instagram
on Facebook,
and Facebook?
Instagram. If you check out teamlongroad.com, it's already attached to our page. You could add our page, and it shows a chronological story of everything that we've done from 2022 till now.
So that QR code was to tell the story and donate.
Yeah, absolutely, and to donate. So there's the donation link. We have all of the websites that you could, or the platforms you could donate at, and we're constantly trying to fundraise to get teams out onto the foreign battlefields and retrieve our lost and fallen.
And you said you do this every year. Do you know
We've
when
been doing it every year.
You guys are slated for next year?
No.
Not yet?
Especially it being a bunch of Marines, like it's just what are we doing this year? After the first one, we were talking about going to Spain and doing the El Camino Trail, and that would have been an epic trail. But we ended up going to Virginia and doing the Shenandoah Pass, which is up and down the East Coast. And
Appalachian.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool too, considering I wanted to go hiking, right? So everybody thinks of like the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail, and I just walked the country instead, And you could definitely see amazing things in nature, but you could also see amazing things in the places we live. Like every 5 miles was a different environment, a different, like scenery. But really, it was just different people that we got to meet along the way. And that's where history comes from. That's our people. That's where we come from and who we are. And we got to experience and see people like that.
And you also told me that you visited some monuments along the way.
Yeah. Some cool monuments. We went, we got to see, obviously, the Brooklyn Bridge, which was really cool. We were talking about that earlier. It was a little interesting for us because my buddy JD, when we go hiking, he has a trailer on his back. So he's hauling a trailer, and walking across the Brooklyn Bridge isn't the easiest thing with a trailer that you're wheeling around. Everybody's trying to take Instagram pictures and stuff, and we're just trying to tell a story. And we have our QR codes everywhere we're walking, but we're not really trying to stay and talk. We have to clock in miles. Like we have 20 miles we have to cover. So a lot of times it's, hey, scan our QR code and follow us if you want to talk to us. Like while I'm hiking, I'm on my phone replying to everybody. We're really proactive in responding to people and letting them know how we're doing and answer any questions that they have when we're hiking. That's all they do is check your phone and walk.
So your goal was 20 miles a day.
20 miles a day. Yeah.
And then it ended by attending the 250th.
We went to the 250th birthday at the Commandant's birthday.
Right.
That was 2 days before. I think it was on the 8th. And then we finished on the 10th, which is the Marine Corps birthday. And we finished at the Marine Corps Museum, which was really cool because they had a cake cutting ceremony over there. And Marines from, all around came by. I met another Marine out there from Guam. He was like, "Hey, Cello," and I was just like, "I don't know who you are," and I feel a little bad, like my memory's not the best, but we went to high school together. He's just a couple years older than me, and it was really awesome to connect. But the story continues. I have to go back on the road and do my thing. I have handshakes to do and things to take care of. But it was really awesome to connect with a Marine that we were both in the delayed enlistment program together. And just to connect with them, that was pretty cool.
Were you wearing anything that said you were from Guam, or he just remembered you?
I think someone told him that I was from Guam.
Oh, okay.
And he saw the QR code, scanned it, and then saw Shinohara
okay.
And then he's like, "That guy must be from Guam."
I got curious because you mentioned that that you were doing this hike for raise awareness for the missing in action. And I wanted to see if there was any on Guam that are listed. And I did a Google search, and you actually become one of the search results. It says here, ongoing search efforts. Local veteran Ray Shinohara and other veterans have joined the Long Road Trek to raise awareness and support the recovery of MIAs from all conflicts. So, you know, I'm growing up, I'm a kid from the 70s and the 80s, and we know about the POW MIAs plight of the Vietnam War, but are we also looking for missing action of the current battles?
Yeah. So no. So, you know, in all honesty, we've been able to bring back everybody from OIF and OEF, which is amazing. So how the whole thing started with the whole POW MIA was Vietnam, right? So there's a lot of moms that wanted their sons home, and they just weren't home. So a lot of moms complained to the government. They created this organization called the DPAA, the Department of Personnel Accountability Agency. And that's where the money comes through, right? So if there are people or teams that are going out, they usually pay. But like the government usually does, it takes a while, right? And that particular set of money is usually reserved for the Vietnam guys, right? So we're kind of forgetting about the World War II guys, the World War I guys, you know, some of the other wars, and, you know, doing this history hike that we're doing. I got to learn about like the Civil War and everything. And that was pretty interesting. And there's still people that they haven't found yet. And yes, generations have passed, and they probably have a hard time finding, you know, recipients of the remains if we do find them. But we have to fundraise to get our own money and then get reimbursed by the DPA later down the road.
Oh, so you get reimbursed.
Reimbursed for the cost. But like that reimbursement goes straight to the next next project
mission.
if we have, right? And there's different sites. It's not just, you know, think about World War II. It was all over the Pacific. It was all over Europe, right? So, you know, I'm looking at project sites that we could go to. Guam's one of them. The Philippines is one of them. Within that kind of project realm, we have to do the research, you know, because we can't just be like, okay, we got a shovel. Where do we go now? Like, we have to do a lot of research into the process of these recoveries. So when
you're
get
dealing
on
with
target,
foreign governments also. How is the cooperation with all these different nations?
It is interesting. So when I went to Tarawa, I had to deal with the Tarawa government. I had to deal with other foreign governments that were out there, you know, working with Kiribati. So Kiribati is the country. Tarawa is like a village. It's the biggest landmass on this atoll in Tarawa. And, you know, the Japanese were out there, which is really nice because, like, we obviously World War II, Japanese remains are out there too. And we give them also dignity and respect because we also, if we find remains from other parties, we will send them back to their origin.
Oh, that's part of your mission as well.
Yeah. It's, you know, it is what it is. You know, you could be one of those people who hate what happened, right? You could be on one side or the other, but at the end of the day, especially as a service member, you have to think about the honor and respect of that person who offered their life to serve, right? Regardless if it was the good guy or the bad guy, whichever side you were on, right? And you know, by doing that, we stand for something, right? Especially if it's the Japanese. I'm Japanese, so it's a little interesting when I'm having to deal with a counterpart. But like when we have to do translations, because we'll find remains there, and we have to confirm if it's part of World War II or if it's just trash, you know. And you know, there was a couple of times where we're like, yeah, this is a bottle from World War II. Like we could actually date it and everything. So now we're in a target area that actually makes sense. So we should continue digging in this area, and that's how we usually find remains.
That's a lot of work that goes into it.
It is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of managing, especially as a team leader. And then if anybody gets a boo-boo, I'm also the medic, so they come to me. So it gets interesting. But it's also rewarding because when you do make a find, then it's the research on finding out who it is. And then, you know, in my original job as a social worker, like I can actually talk about, you know, the loss and closure and, you know, what the family may be going through at the time, especially with finding out a lost member of their family has been returned to home.
And that's probably another journey, is identifying that family.
Super emotional. Like
finding their descendants.
We've met a bunch of people that we've actually got to, you know, give their remains back to their family. And I got to talk to some of the kids, and the kids are patriotic. Like, I can't wait till I'm a Marine. Like the connectiveness that happens from one moment at a time, right? From a family member that gave so much, that gave everything. literally gave everything, and it's connected their grandchildren or their like great nephew to follow in the same steps of patriotism and honor.
Right. And we'll continue the conversation after the break.
Cool.
You're listening to Veterans with Benefits on 93.3. You can call into 671-888-TALK. We'll be right back.
10 more days till Christmas. Get the perfect Shinarp gift at the local shop or bladesbycrank.com.
Knowledge is power. In just 60 seconds, the Evolt 360 provides you a unique experience and a detailed report of your body composition for you to take action to improve your health. The Evolt 360, turning information into inspiration to live a balanced lifestyle. Evolt 360 is exclusively at the Take Care Wellness Center. Go to Simply Book Me or call 671-646-6956 extension 7260 for more information and to schedule an appointment with a member of the Take Care Wellness team.
The holidays have arrived. More of us are out and about creating even busier roads and longer traffic lines to get our shopping done. This is a friendly reminder to all motorists to be mindful and courteous on our island roads. You're partying? Have fun, but be sure to have a designated driver. No matter how busy or how much fun you're having, remember to drive safe. Someone loves you. This message is brought to you by Proline Automotive.
And we're back. I wanted to read one comment from John Coleman. He said, the best hiking is Utah. Guam is fun, but zaps you quickly. And I also want to talk about the event this past weekend. So this past week, we wrapped up Benefits Boot Camp number 47. And then on December 13, all across the U.S. happens is Reach Across America. So I think we had almost 900 some wreaths that were purchased. So the way Wreaths Across America works is there are 6 nonprofit organizations, and the veteran or a family member has to go to the Wreaths Across America website and purchase wreaths. And for all the nonprofit organizations that take part, the nonprofit organization receives $5. And so we push this out, we push it out. So unfortunately, the messaging wasn't pushed out, I guess, enough. November 5th was the deadline for Reach Across America wreaths to purchase the wreaths for Guam because they need to be shipped here. And thank you to Matson for shipping our wreaths. I'm not sure how many years they've done it, but they were shipped here. And then HMI is one of the nonprofit organizations, and we receive $5 for every wreath. So, we talked about pushing this harder because there are at least 6,000 currently family members and veterans at the Guam Veteran Cemetery. So if we can start pushing in January and get other organizations involved, and this is a fundraising event, we should have every single resting place have a wreath there, not just a few. And there were wreaths that were also presented by different organizations, military leaders. There was the formation of ROTC. That was a good picture. They were all getting information down by the flags. That was really nice. And then our team went and played some wreaths with some veterans, and then I cut some photos of family members laying their wreaths, and it was just a beautiful ceremony. And the Gold Star family members also, they were able to place one last wreath at the end. And I wish there were more wreaths, and I wish it was, pushed more by different organizations. And every year we say we're going to do a better job. And so I think with almost 900 wreaths purchased, I think we did do a good job, but I think we could do better. We could do better next year. And how it works is each nonprofit sponsors the wreath or has the website up, and the Guam Office of Veteran Affairs, they actually run the list, and they have a check-in area near the chapel, and the veteran comes, picks up their wreath. For the first 30 minutes, they can pick up the wreath and lay it for the veteran on their resting place, and then the rest of the wreaths are placed by volunteers. So they give 30 minutes first to the family members, and the rest will be laid by ROTC or the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whoever volunteers. It was a really nice ceremony. Did you get to do yours, Jose?
No, I didn't get to. Had some other errands to run, and I tried to get my mom to get out there that day, but definitely going to make it up this weekend just to check it out. I did see it last year, the weekend after, and it was an amazing thing to just view all the wreaths that are everywhere.
Yeah, it was really nice, and kudos to Tanya. Tanya was the MC for the Wreaths Across America ceremony, and then the GOVA office staff. They did an amazing job finding the names, making the line move fast, and I think the Red Cross was there, and whoever took care of the grounds leading up to the event, because the grounds looked really nice. And then, of course, all of the ROTC, what high school? Doug Bowling over there, I think they're the ones that did the flags, posted the colors, the Guam flag and the U.S. flag. Did a good job. And those are, ROTC, those are high school. They're not even, they didn't even join the military yet, but that's the future. And their formations looked great. So I'm proud to see that they're leading the way.
No flag hoisting controversy this year?
No, not this year. I know. I think Doug and I talked about that, and he goes, yeah, we know. We practiced. They practiced. They did a good job.
Very nice.
They got the flags up, and they were straight. Yes. Oh, we have another comment here. John Coleman, I hiked part of the Appalachian Trail from Klingman's Dome down the trail 20-some miles. Amazing hike, too.
Yeah.
And then Brennan Fausto, good evening, y'all, and veteran warfighters, happy holidays. Yes, happy holidays, Brennan. Thank you.
Jigo Jarhead.
Yes, he is from Jigo. Right? Is that what he says? Does he say Jigo Jarhead sometimes? I think so.
Nice.
Okay, did you want to add anything else? Encourage veterans to do something or get out there more, take part of anything, not give up.
Yeah, you could say all of that.
Yes.
One of the questions that people ask me about this is like, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I'm a veteran. I have nothing else to do except give my time to things that matter in my life. And helping the POW/MIA is a part of my life now. And anybody could do what I do. If you want to go hiking, like people are like, how do you hike 20 miles every day? It's easy. Wake up, go hiking. Nothing's stopping you. The road is free. People just have all of these 2-foot walls that are stopping them from doing things, when if you give yourself, just like a lot of the veterans that are watching and the veterans that have served, they gave themselves. They don't want to give anymore. But if you give back, it'll feel good, just like how we were all in, and it felt good to be a service member. It felt good to be an airman, a sailor, a Marine, a soldier, a coastie, a whatever. And when we took off that uniform, like, we thought it was over. It's never over. All we have to do is continue to serve, continue to do better, be a better person, spend time with your kids and your family. We were talking about that earlier too. Like, I saw a lot of kids out there when I was hiking and they weren't doing anything. And I posted about, hey, I don't know what's going on, but like, spend time with your kids because they're outside playing with trash, and we can make better people if we invest into our people. And that's what the military did for us. It invested into us, and we became better people. Whether we continued or we stopped, we became better people.
So you mentioned, giving back and, being with HMI, or since I was with HMI, like, that's changing lives is amazing.
Yeah.
When you get phone calls or text messages saying, hey, I have a rating, I can get healthcare now. And then I tell them, hey, if you haven't attended the HMI's benefits bootcamp, you should come learn, because not only do you get access to money, you also have healthcare, you have other benefits that come along with it, like voc rehab, right? And every time I talk about voc rehab, I always talk about, it's not an education program. It's a rapid employment program.
Yeah.
Because, yes, people do go back to school using it, but guess what? If you go back to school and you get your degree, you might get hired, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it does feel good, giving back. And
yeah. And I've got this special, opportunity to hang out with you guys and the HMI team and see what you guys do.
Yes.
And you guys are doing amazing work.
Yes.
Getting people the benefits they need, helping them, navigate the system and everything, especially with technology. You know, I love going in, and there's an old guy in there, like probably 30 years, hasn't established his benefits at all, and he can't even sign in to ID me. And just to help that individual get something so little makes a huge difference. And the kind of, like, you know, relationship you gain from having that person in your life for that 30 minutes, that hour, is amazing.
And you didn't know, but you've made a big difference, because for years they're just staring at all this paper and all these letters, and they tell you to log in, but the veteran's like, log in where? I don't know where to log in. You got to create an account. Well, how do I create an account? And a lot of veterans don't have a computer or, you know, internet or a printer.
Or the know-how.
Or or the know-how. So I tell a lot of veterans, hey, can you ask your grandkids to, you know, to help you log in? You know, I mean, you know, we teach them and show them how to do it, but you have to do it a lot to get comfortable with technology.
Yeah. Especially checking their meds, how easy it is to order meds
now.
now.
I know, online on the VA app.
Easy.
Order, start refill.
And if you're not using it, start using it.
Yes.
It's easy.
Yes.
Sent through the mail. Don't have to deal with anything.
There's a lot of things. Well, did you want to add anything else? Did you want to, you know, say hi to anyone, people, some words of encouragement or anything else?
You know, the veterans that are out there, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. If your life is in struggle or you're having a hard time, there's always help that's out there. I say it every time I'm with you guys on the show or whatever. Help is out there. Go get help. There's no reason for anybody to struggle out there. And if you're struggling out there, you don't have to struggle alone.
And don't quit.
Don't
Never quit.
effing quit.
Nope. I know I told you not to cuss on the show. And you did it good? Yes. All right. Thank you. Nice for having you.
Thank you.
We will see you all next week. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Two dead at the Reiner Mansion. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. Two bodies discovered Sunday in the Brentwood, LA home of actor-director Rob Reiner. However, police haven't confirmed the identities of those deceased. Fox's Marianne Rafferty reports.
Police are not confirming exactly who died, but LA Mayor Karen Bass releasing a statement honoring the lives and legacy of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. California Governor Gavin Newsom also releasing a statement about the apparent death of Rob Reiner and his wife. Police say so far, though, no one has been detained. The investigation is ongoing. They also say more information will be released on Monday.
Deputy LA Police Chief Alan Hamilton.
We have officers here at the scene. We have officers in the area.